Yo, what's going on everybody? Now, it's been a hot minute since I made a Black Clover video, mainly because I stopped caring about the series. But me keeping my distance away from the show didn't keep me from hearing negative things about it. From Black Clover getting this anime canceled to the Spade Kingdom being one of the worst arcs in the series, confirmed by Black Clover fans I've spoken to, I'm not really surprised that Black Clover is down on his luck. In my last Black Clover video, I spoke about the possibility of the series being canceled and the clues Shonen Jump was leaving around that was possibly leading up to it. With the help of the homie ForneverWorld, of course, because without his video, I would have never known none of that shit. And it seems like in ForneverWorld's recent videos, he has not only had a problem with the series of Black Clover, but its sensitive ass fan base as well. He mentions how he gave a single criticism to Trash Clover and how the fan base attacked his ass on Twitter. Now, if you're familiar with my Black Clover videos, you already know that the Black Clover fan base is some of the most emotional motherfuckers on any platform. They'll call you all sorts of names and mass report you, all because you criticize their favorite cartoon. And I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate the dedication, but it takes a special type of loser to go that far over a trash ass series. Black Clover is fucking garbage and people are starting to notice it more and more based off the recent sales charts that ForneverWorld shows in one of his recent videos. The series has literally survived off stealing other series ideas. Oh shit, let me not say that because Black Clover fans don't like it when you use the word steal. Black Clover has survived this long because it kept taking inspiration from other series. And after catching up with the manga, I can see why some Black Clover fans are pissed off at this current arc. Literally the whole point of the Spade Kingdom arc was just to show just how strong the Clover Kingdom has gotten since their training arc, especially with Asta, Noelle, Yuno, and fucking Magna. And despite them having a training arc, most of these fights still conclude on some bullshit. Not with Asta, because Asta actually trained and his shit was a little bit more passable and digestible, because I actually seen him train with fucking Noct and, you know, him learning his devil contracts and etc, etc. I don't really have a problem with how Asta won his fight. It's just Noelle, Yuno, and fucking Magna. Noelle with this Saint Stage shit? Bro, I don't care what anyone says. Saint Stage came out of fucking nowhere, bruh. Like, literally the whole point of that spell was just to give Noelle the ability to fight against devils. And considering when she activated that spell came off so fucking convenient, bro. At the time they was fighting Vonica, they needed somebody on the battlefield who can either do arcane stage magic or anti-magic. You know, so that way they'll be able to destroy the devil's heart. But they didn't have anyone on that battlefield who can do either one of those spells. So guess what happened? Black Clover started Black Clovering shit up, and here comes Noelle with her fucking Saint Stage mode. And once you find out the background of this spell, it makes this shit so fucking worse, bro. Especially when you find out why this Undying bitch, the fucking Aqua bitch of Lolo Pika or whatever the fuck her name is, once you find out why she didn't tell Yuno or Fugolian about this, you know, the two motherfuckers who have spirits who are fully capable of doing this, once you find out her reason for not telling them, bro, it makes it 1,000 times even fucking worse. Like, it's literally some of the dumbest shit I have ever read in my life, bro. And I know Black Clover fans are gonna be like, oh no, it was foreshadowed when Noelle fought Vonica for the first time and she made Vonica bleed. Like, do people realize that there's a such thing as bad foreshadowing? Like, I don't think people realize just how easy it is to do some last minute foreshadowing. And fuck it, let's say it was foreshadowed. It makes it even fucking worse when you take into account, why didn't Vonica kill this bitch when she had the chance? She's literally bleeding. She sees that Noelle's book is glowing. Like, is it really that hard to put two and two together and be like, yo, that bitch is a problem. She has to go. And to make it even worse, she blows up the area where Noelle is located and she tells Noelle, hey, I'm pretty sure you can survive this, and when you do, come back to the Spade Kingdom. And it's like, hey dumbass, how about you just kill her right here and now, so that way you won't have to wonder whether or not she can survive the explosion. It's like, holy fuck. And then Vonica kidnaps this Lolo Pika bitch, and Magicula is like, yo, I think the best option is to eliminate this bitch. She's the wisdom of the Heart Kingdom. And Vonica is like, nah, fuck all that shit. Yo, let's take her back to the Spade Kingdom, so that way Noelle can get strong. And it's like, bro, what the fuck am I watching? Dragon Ball Super? Like, these characters are so fucking stupid for the sake of the plot. Oh wait, let me guess. It's because it's Vonica, and she likes to fight. this is her character. Well, let me give Tabata a hand clap for conveniently writing a stupid ass character. Like, y'all think that just because y'all have the answers for these questions, it justifies it for being good. Like, if the police was to take me to the police station and ask me, yo, why did you rob that bank and kill all those people? And I respond by saying, yo, I killed all those people and robbed that bank because it was fun. That's who my character is. I like to have fun. Are y'all gonna sit there and be like, yo, that's a good ass character, this is a great moment? Or are you gonna look at that shit and be like, no, this is fucking dumb, it's stupid? And then you have the whole Dante versus Magna situation where Dante literally lets Magna hit him for free because Dante sees Magna as a weakling. And it's like, bro, what good villain has ever let a character who's trying to fuck up their plans hit them for free? Like, yeah, just do whatever you want because it's not going to matter. It's like, bro, who the fuck is writing this shit? Does the author not have any self-respect for themselves? How can you write this shit with a straight face and put this out to the public? And then y'all wonder why y'all shit going down in sales. That Dante versus Magna fight was some of the goofiest shit I have ever read in the manga. But hey, as long as the side characters are doing something right, at least in Black Clover we can say that they do stuff with their side characters. Well, I guess you guys are cool with fucking up the story as long as the side characters are getting the moment. Yeah, let's fuck up the story of Black Clover for the sake of Magna having a moment. Because at that point of the story, we definitely needed a lecture about how a weak person can compete against a strong person. Yeah, because this is the perfect time to do that in the process of trying to save the fucking world from devils. And then last but not least, you know, in this whole two grimoire shit, bro, you could have easily made this somewhat digestible by just telling us from the get-go that Yuno's mom and dad has sun and moon magic. But instead, you want to wait 300 plus chapters right before Yuno is about to get fucking killed to be like, oh yeah, Yuno's dad was the sun and Yuno's mom was the moon, therefore it makes Yuno the fucking star god or whatever the fuck he is. And now you're telling me that this whole time that Yuno's been using his magic, it wasn't his magic, it was a reincarnated elf that was in his body since he was born? Man, if you don't get this Naruto Sage of Six Paths shit up out of here, like, bro, it wasn't good when Naruto did it, so why would it be any better now? Like, I thought this elf shit was the elf arc thing, but nah, Tabata tried to push this shit to a whole nother level, bruh. He like, yo, let's make it to where this elf was inside of Yuno this whole time, and Yuno's been using his magic instead of his own magic. It's like, bro, come on now. And then it's really fucking convenient that when Yuno gets knocked back into a fucking building, he ends up landing in the place where they give out the fucking grimoires. Like, bro, this shit is so convenient that at this point you might as well rename Black Clover to Black Convenience, cause this shit is getting ridiculous. And then after Yuno gets his new grimoire, this motherfucker just starts using it with ease, bruh, like with no problems whatsoever. Like, what's the fucking point of training in this series if all you have to do is just grab a book and just start naming spells out the shit? Like, don't even get me started on how he know what spells to use and what they can do. And then when Zenon destroys all of Yuno's stars, guess what happens? Stereotypical Black Clover shit where the narrator comes out of fucking nowhere and starts explaining shit. Oh, Saint Stage is when the renaissance of a host in the spirit is near 100%, and by Yuno continuously fighting on the verge of death, it allows him to achieve this stage. Oh, it's like, okay, so you're just trying to justify him getting this ass pulled. Okay, I gotcha. It's not like this is my first time ever dealing with the shit, Mr. Narrator man. Like, the narrator is damn near a character himself because every time some bullshit happens, his ass show up. And why is it that the heroes always benefit from this on the verge of death shit? Like, it's mad times in Black Clover where I seen the villain on the verge of losing or on the verge of death, and every time they got like a little power up, it was some measly shit where they open up another eye or they get another spell or some shit. But when the heroes on the verge of death or when the heroes are on the verge of losing, bro, these motherfuckers get whole new transformations, bro. Like, they get some crazy shit that doesn't even make it fair at the end of the day. It's like they turn the tables completely on these motherfuckers. The fucking system in Black Clover where every time you're in trouble, you get a power boost is so biased on the hero side that is not even funny. And then Black Clover fans wonder why they don't have a good villain in their series yet. And let me make myself very clear. I don't have a problem with Saint Stage mode or Yuno's star magic. I more so have a problem on when these characters achieve these abilities. Cause it seems like they only achieve these abilities at the most convenient convenient of moments, which really doesn't make for an interesting story because it makes every fight damn near predictable, especially when you take into account how the Black Clover system works, where every time someone is on the verge of death, they get a fucking power boost. And now when I think about it, besides anti-magic, I never really had a problem with any of the spells that the characters learned in Black Clover. My only problem has been when they learned the spells in Black Clover, because it seems like they only learn a new spell when they need their ass saved by the plot. And yeah, I understand Black Clover, that's how it works, where every time you're on the verge of death, you get a brand new spell and this and etc. But it goes back to what I say about it doesn't really make the story interesting, and it makes every fight damn near predictable. And let me touch on Xenon's backstory real quick, because that backstory was some bullshit. They pretty much took Asta and Yuno's story and put that shit in reverse roles in Xenon's backstory. So much so that the motherfucker that Xenon was friends with looked literally like Asta. And it's like, bro, this dude Yuki Tabata does not give a fuck. He deadass just threw some random shit out there for Xenon's backstory just to wrap up Xenon's character arc. Like, his shit was damn near similar to Jiren's backstory from Dragon Ball Super, in a sense where they tried to do some last minute shit to make you care for his character. But that's pretty much all I really have to say about the trash Clover manga. There's other shit I can get into, but that's not the whole point of this video, and I already went too long on that shit already. I just wanted to address those specific things. But let's get into this ForneverWorld video of him talking about the fanboys fucking with him on Twitter because he gave a single criticism to trash Clover.
Okay people, so I got a little bit of a rant to get off in today's Black Clover video, because after Black Clover chapter 315, a little bit of the fandom and myself have had a disagreement over on Twitter, and it wasn't the most pleasant to say the least, because following the chapter I kind of was a little bit again comedic with it, similar to the way I felt with last week's chapter, in terms of like, yo, we got the Mighty Morphin Black Bulls up in here, okay? Like, definitely 100,000% Yuki Tabata has been influenced and showing a lot of that influence in some of the recent chapters of Black Clover.
Bro, this motherfucker Yuki Tabata is always influenced by some shit. Like, his whole manga is ran on nothing but influences. And I say influence in the most sarcastic way possible because these are not influences. He's stealing this shit. He's literally taking ideas from other series and twisting them around in his shitty story. And the fact that it got to a point where he felt like he should take inspiration from Power Rangers is some of the funniest shit ever, considering that Power Rangers is some of the lamest shit ever created in human existence. Like, who the fuck really said, yo, you remember the Go-Go Power Rangers? That shit was fire. Like, no one has ever said that shit. Every time the Power Rangers was brought up, it was because people were roasting the fuck out of them. That's probably why the Black Clover fans got mad at your ass, because you tried to associate their series with a lame ass show. Like, who the fuck wants to be associated with the Power Rangers? And let me get back to the whole inspiration thing. It's perfectly fine if you use influences and inspirations in your story or art, because in most cases you're only writing a story and drawing art because you were influenced by something. But when it gets to a point where your art and story is filled with nothing but influences and it doesn't feel like its own thing, then that's a fucking problem. Black Clover has not done anything creatively to set itself apart from the new gen anime, or hell, even the old gen anime. Black Clover doesn't even have a defining art that sets itself apart from the other anime, as well as make people want to go back and rewatch it. Like, I know people are going to say the Elf arc, but if you've seen the 4th grade Ninja War arc in Naruto, then you've seen the Elf arc in Black Clover. The Elf arc in Black Clover ain't shit but a chopped and screwed, remix, redux, a damn son, where'd you find this version of the 4th grade Ninja War arc from Naruto.
We straight up are looking like Power Rangers up in here. Like, it straight up feels like that. It looks like, you know, when they get into the Mighty Morphin and they get into the big giant machines that are fighting and all that jazz, like, that's really what it has felt, and Black Clover 315 was no different. And to be honest with you, I said something over on Twitter that ruffled a little bit of feathers, but I think for the most part I was a bit misunderstood. I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit annoying and something that I really was like, I guess, disappointed to a certain degree. And this is not exclusive to the Black Clover fandom by any means. It's not exclusive to the Black Clover fandom. I've dealt with it with Boruto fans before.
Bro, you should not have to explain to the audience that this is not your first time dealing with a toxic ass fan base. Like, everyone should know that what comes with the territory of reviewing manga and anime on YouTube comes with some retarded ass fanboys. And in this case, Black Clover fans are those retarded ass fanboys. One of the greatest greatest quotes to ever exist that fits perfectly for the situation says, "People only get mad and defensive when they know they're guilty." In other words, Black Clover fans only get mad and defensive when you criticize their series because deep down inside they know it fucking sucks. It's no secret that the Black Clover fans are some of the most emotional people on the internet. These motherfuckers take pride in dislike bombing people's videos. I've had Black Clover fans bitching at me in the comment section at 5 in the fucking morning over something I said in the video. Like, do you realize how much of a psychopath you have to be to do some sicko shit like that?
No matter how much you support, no matter how much you show love, no matter how much, even though everybody else curses whatever it is that is going on, and you still are the one holding down its back, when you have one disagreement, I noticed that fans, they just will straight up like cast you aside and act like you never did anything. It's like you gave 100 or you gave 99 yeses and you gave one no, and boom, you're the bad guy, get out of here. And yeah, it was really bad.
Hey, that's even more of a reason for you anime YouTubers to stop kissing these anime fans' ass. Because no matter what you do, it's a lose-lose situation. Just like what ForneverWorld just said. You can praise the series all day long and protect it, but the minute you give it one criticism, people start cursing you out and casting you to the side because that's just how fucking sensitive people are nowadays. Like, you can't have an opinion on shit. Most people's reasonings for not wanting to criticize anime on their channel is usually because they don't want to lose subscribers, which doesn't make sense to me because as long as you're past 1,000 subscribers, you get monetized. Like, why the fuck would anyone care about subscribers at that point? I would much rather have 1K subscribers and average around 10K views than to have 500K subscribers and average around 25K views. Like, who the fuck wants to have that sick ass ratio? I don't even have 2K subscribers yet and I average around 3K views per video. Like, let's weigh out the pros and cons. You don't have to kiss these anime fans' ass to get views, bro. They are just as curious of a video that hates their favorite series than they are a video that praised their favorite series. And that's just how the minds of the stupid ass fanboys work.
So I said, what even was this chapter, with a kind of silly little face, a little emoji. At least we got this awesome panel of Asta, but damn Tabata, get it together, fam. Hashtag Black Clover 315. Now let's examine this, because for starters, even as I'm reading this right now, I still don't see why so many people took it as if I was bashing it, saying that it's, you know, garbage or anything like that. Let's start off the first line. What even was this chapter? What I was referring to was not that I'm confused, not that I don't understand, it's so complex or anything like that. No, like what I mean was, what even was this chapter? Like, it didn't feel like Black Clover. It felt like, again, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, just a whole different vibe than what we've been accustomed to for 300 plus chapters of this series.
So do y'all remember earlier in my video when I said that it's perfectly fine for someone to use influences and inspirations in their art or story as long as they don't use too much of it because it starts not to feel like its own product? Yeah, he just kind of proved my point with that statement he just said. Black Clover has been using so many influences in this series that it doesn't even feel like its own show. It goes back to what I said in my previous videos when I said that Black Clover doesn't have a soul. It also goes back to my My Hero Academia versus Black Clover video when I said that I prefer My Hero Academia because My Hero Academia feels like its own series. Whether people want to admit it or not, they want some type of originality in their series because it sets the series apart from other shows. Black Clover can end today and I promise you, you will never hear another peep about that fucking series because there's so many shows out there that can substitute for it. They do the same shit Black Clover does, and hell, even to a better degree. Chainsaw Man is finna come out with an anime. Bleach is finna come back. Trust me, the Black Clover series would not be missed. Once Chainsaw Man comes out with this anime, there are going to be more and more people overhyping the shit out of that show than they are Black Clover. Once Bleach come back, you already know what time it is. And Black Clover is already dropping in sales without those things even existing at this moment. So like, how the fuck you think it's going to survive when those shows come out? And Chainsaw Man, Bleach, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen all do the same demon and devil shit that Black Clover does with a better story.
And then somebody called me out for being toxic, for saying, but damn Tabata, get it together, fam. Like, yeah, get it together. Let's get back on course to what we've been feeling, like the epic highs of like when Magna fought against Dante, like that type of vibe. Like, get it together in that aspect, not in terms of being disrespectful, because I've said a billion times over here, I praise Tabata, I've gave him nothing but support, saying, yo, take a break if you need to, all of that jazz. I'm not a toxic toxic person in general, I could only fathom what it's like to work in their shoes and do what they do. So it's never by any means anything like toxic or disrespectful of me saying these things. It's more so like, yo, let's get back on course. Let's get back to that feel that I really love.
Hey, people on this website call me toxic all the time. And guess what? I don't really give a shit. If me criticizing a cartoon and the author for his shitty writing is toxic, then hey, I'll wear that shit like a crown. I don't give a fuck, because only a dumbass would actually think that me criticizing the author for his shitty writing is me attacking him as a person. Like, I don't know who the fuck the author is, but I do respect what he's doing by writing these manga on a weekly basis. I have never shitted on the author for their hard work ethic, because I know how hard it is to write a manga and a story. That shit takes a lot of time, but best believe if you put out a shitty story and a shitty manga, I will be criticizing that shit. And not only me, but everyone else as well. That's just what comes with putting your product out there to the public. The same way it's cool to praise it, it's the same way it's cool to criticize it. If anybody is toxic, it's these weird ass fanboys, because every time you criticize something, they always get butthurt over some shit. Like, go outside and touch some grass. Go outside and get a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and get some booty. There's more to life than getting mad over a shitty cartoon like Black Clover.
So when people took it and like it was just a shit show over there on Twitter, I was like, God damn, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this has happened to me before with the Boruto fandom. Is like, yo, it's okay to say something that is not alongside and aligning with the popular opinion. Apparently, like, this chapter was trending or whatever. That's awesome. And again, I even praised like the double spread at the end with Asta was sick. He looked, I ain't gonna lie, he gave me Yami vibes. But it was just not cool, honestly, that, yo, I'd be having these series backs, and a lot of the times the fandom, when it gets to a certain point and we have a disagreement, they don't be riding with me. So there's a little bit of something that I felt regarding the chapter, because there was still some things to discuss, and let's do that right now.
In the words of the great Dave Chappelle, I don't give a fuck about Twitter because Twitter is not a real place. And I think the more people start to realize that, the more they'll stop giving a fuck about what people say on the internet. Because at the end of the day, all these people aren't nothing but a bunch of ones, twos, and zeros. It's no reason for anyone to be taking this shit on the internet this serious. I cannot tell y'all how many times I fucked somebody's head up when they came to my channel to hate me and I ended up liking their comment. Because for some reason, people feel like them hurling insults at me in the digital comment section is somehow fucking up my day. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I don't take it serious. That's my whole point of liking the comment that hates me, to show y'all that I don't take y'all fucking seriously. And just because something is trending on Twitter doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. There's a lot of popular things out there that are fucking trash. For example, look at Black Clover. It's somewhat popular and it's fucking trash. My Hero Academia is popular and it's fucking trash. Dragon Ball Super is super popular and it's super trash. And if anybody can take anything from this video, is that you should not go on the internet expecting people to protect you, because they'll turn on you just as fast over the dumbest shit. But that's all I have to say for this segment of the video. If you want to go see his review on Black Clover chapter 315, go to his channel and watch it, because he actually does a good job reviewing that shitty chapter. But what we're finna do now is go over to his other video of him talking about the drop in sales of the Black Clover series, and yeah, I'm just finna have a blast with this shit.
Okay, people, next up, I felt this one was definitely an appropriate one to cover. We've covered a lot of rise and falls at this point. Shout outs to Jose_Cat, always giving us some insight, like I said, and this one was very, very important to us. Y'all know, Black Clover fans, we talk about the manga and success, lack thereof, yada yada, a lot here, and he gave us a chart of the manga's performance. Just briefly, he said, a great start and rise. Black Clover follows the most common trend of manga sales, where you have a peak sales point and then the slow decrease that follows it. We'll see if the movie can break past this trend and give it a push, because looking at it from here, it starts off with volume 1, it was between 50 and 100,000, so like about 75,000. Volume 2, 100,000, and it continued on, and it looks like right here, which I'm gonna do the due diligence, I'll do a cut right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Volume 15 was the peak of Black Clover, 5.5 million, and then since volume 15, it has been, damn, half of its life cycle pretty much. It's been going downhill in terms of sales.
Black Clover has never had a great start. that shit slightly rose, and the only reason it slightly rose was because Shonen Jump was promoting the shit out of that trash ass manga. They pretty much wanted Black Clover to be the next Naruto, and we seen how all that shit turned out. After it slightly rose, that shit went straight back down, and then it started to get another rise, and that's when the anime came out, and that's when it got a good 3 spurts, and ever since those good 3 spurts, that shit's been downhill ever since. And to make things even worse, the most it's ever sold by a volume was 270,000 copies. Let me tell you right now, compared to its contemporaries, that shit is piss poor. Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Haiku, 2 series that are over, by the way. Once they got traction, not only were they averaging around the same amount of sales as Black Clover's peak, but over the course of time, they tripled the amount and went straight to the fucking moon. And even when they did drop in sales, their drop in sales were still better than Black Clover's peak by a significant amount.
Let's check what volume 15 was. So volume 15 of Black Clover is the one with Mario Leona on the cover, and it said it was as the Royal Knight selection test enters its final stage, a surprising team is still in contention. Can Aster or Yuno take the crown? And after the test is over, the real battle begins when the members of the Royal Knights are decided. Oh, so this is when they were deciding who's going to go and fight against the elves, if I'm not mistaken, or just what was going on, the threat that they had at that time. Wow, that was the peak. Volume 15 with them training and like that. Yeah, it covers chapters 131 through 140. Yeah, and Rada says he's not care who. Okay, so this was like with Henry and the base and all this. That's so weird. Like, that's where Black Clover peaked. You would think like it would have peaked, okay, boom, at the end of the elf invasion arc or somewhere where it's recognizable, but it peaked during like Ghosh and Henry and the Black Bull hide. So bizarre. That's where the downward spiral of Black Clover began. I can't even believe it right now. What the hell, volume 15? But maybe people at that point, they were just starting to get tired of it, or maybe the anime at that, because the anime started around volume 13. The word of mouth backlash was actually very poor, so you figure if it started at 13, probably some people gave it a chance, jumped into the manga, and by 15 they were like, you know, the base that was going to rock with it stood with it, and anybody else was like, nah, I'm good, because of, again, the bad word of mouth. And it's crazy because
I wish everyone could just keep it real with themselves for a second and tell the real reason why they believe Black Clover is struggling so fucking bad. Because deep down inside, we all know why Black Clover is struggling so fucking bad. Even the fucking fanboys know. Not only does Black Clover take way too much inspiration from Bleach and Naruto, not only is his battle system ass and makes damn near every fight predictable as fuck, but his story is so fucking generic and bland. Black Clover's story doesn't do anything special that you can't get from any other battle shonen series. They rely heavily on tropes, and there's about 4 characters at best in that series that has actual good character development. The rest of the characters are just shallow as fuck with moments of development here and there. Not to mention they have way too many emotional ass pools. They have transformations and shit that every other series has. Like, what does it really offer that you can't get from any other manga?
From the anime from 13 to 15, where the peak was, you know, the anime starts at 13 and the peak is at 15, it only jumped up from about 200,000 to about a little over 250. So the anime never really did anything for the manga sales. That's sad and crazy. I am gonna lie, because considering Black Clover ran for, it was like what, 170 episodes, I want to say. Like, it ran for a decent amount of time, and it's crazy that the anime never really had the biggest effect. Like, despite what the creator of this poll said, that's not the greatest jump in the world for an anime adaptation. It's like a little under 200,000 and then over 250,000. I don't know, but Black Clover, a very interesting run to say the least. And I'm imagining if we're looking at the downward spiral, and based on how we've looked at these results throughout the last couple of months, I wouldn't be surprised if in a few more volumes Black Clover is planned on ending. Usually they end the series once the sales start to get close to how it was at one of its lowest points, or at the very least where it was pre-anime. And again, I think that film is going to play a very heavy part on where things go, how we move forward, if it's going to be a success or a failure, because I think that film is what they're riding for and hoping to kind of boost things up. If that film doesn't do anything for the manga sales, doesn't do anything for the franchise, then it's definitely game over, because the sales right now, as it stands, it's going lower than well before the anime even started. So Not good, but again, like, you know, Shonen Jump series, they usually do that. They peak and then continue to slowly go down. It's just that the peak wasn't the highest. Like, if the peak would have been doing, you know, 500,000, 750,000, we'd be talking about a different story here. But honestly, a lot of people like to say, no, Yuki Tabata said he's going to go forever and ever. I plan on doing a lot of things, but there's other forces out there that will stop me. In this case, the Shueisha and Shonen Jump editorial staff will say, all right, fam, you know, sales has gotten so low, we're going to get rid of this. And if things continue in this downward spiral, it'll be game over.
So all in all, the days of Black Clover are coming to an end. The manga is going to get canceled because it's shit. The anime is never coming back. The movie is not going to sell well because if Black Clover can't even sell 250 copies of a single volume on a consistent basis, then how the fuck is it going to sell any movie tickets? Like, at this point, Black Clover might have more money going into its production than it's actually going to make on the fucking movie. And if it's not able to make its returns on the amount of money that's going into the production of that movie, then that series is really going to be fucked. But all in all, that's pretty much all I have to say. I want to shout out to ForneverWorld for giving me the information to fire on you bozo ass fanboys, because truth be told, I really don't care enough about Black Clover to do this much information or even research. And YouTube and ForneverWorld, bruh, that shit was just sitting in my recommendations. Like, they're literally giving me the ammunition to fire off on you fanboys. So why the fuck would I not take it? I've already made the commitment to myself that I'll A-Town stump y'all shitty series until it gets canceled. And the day that it gets canceled, that might be my first live stream. I'm gonna be crip walking all on y'all shit. And the day it's announced that Black Clover is in its final 5 chapters, I'm gonna order a whole bunch of Black Clover volumes, and best believe all them shits is gonna have Noelle on the cover, because Noelle is one of the most annoying characters in the whole fucking series. And once I do that, I'm gonna burn and piss on each one of those mangas on live stream. I don't give a fuck if I get demonetized or a strike. The day Black Clover gets canceled will be one of the best days in my fucking life. And it's gonna be even better when I get on Twitter and see your fucking fan base falling apart. Like, this is gonna be the best shit ever. And I know you're gonna be like, oh, this guy's a fucking loser. Look what he's happy about. He's happy about a show getting canceled. Yeah, you're damn right. I don't give a shit. YouTube is a hobby for me, and best believe on my downtime when I'm bored, I will be laughing at your pain. I will be laughing at the fact that Black Clover will no longer exist. But that's pretty much all I have to say. If you like the video, like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it. It's your boy Trigger Senpai, and I'm out, man. Peace.